What happens when the boy who once embodied his father's legacy chooses a drastically different path? Terry Irwin, the beloved matriarch of Australia Zoo, is now facing an emotional storm few could have predicted. Her son, Robert Irwin, once hailed as the next great wildlife warrior, has stunned fans with a dramatic shift into the world of celebrity culture, luxury modeling, and a lifestyle far removed from the rugged conservation world in which he grew up. With headlines swirling and social media ablaze, insiders say Terry's heartbreak is real, raw, and growing. Is this just a phase, or has Robert truly walked away from Steve Irwin's legacy? This is the poignant tale of a family facing significant challenges. A mother's ability to carry on Steve's legacy. As she continues the conservation work she began with her late husband, Steve, Terry Irwin, now 60, remains a pillar of the Australia Zoo and wildlife warriors. She acknowledged that although loss is always there, it's evolved into a companion rather than a consuming force as she looked back on her journey since Steve's untimely death in 2006 at the age of 44 in May 2025. Terry emphasizes the benefit of public recollection. "I never have to tell anyone what happened. People already know," which spared her repeated trauma. She attributes her tenacity to her family, which includes raising Robert and Bindi, being a grandmother, and guiding the zoo's growth. Despite acknowledging her intense need for Steve, she says that her life is filled with love, partnership, and purpose with her children and her mission. "I no longer recognize him," Terry Irwin crying. During a recent emotional moment, Terry Irwin admitted, "I don't recognize him anymore," as tears filled her eyes while she reflected on the changes in her son Robert compared to the lively young boy she had once known. She went on to describe how, at a May 2025 gala, she found herself gazing at a self-assured, media-savvy Robert. No longer the quiet youngster who suffered after his father's passing, but a fearless young man, dancing on Dancing with the Stars and modeling lingerie. The emotional impact of her remarks emphasized her sense of satisfaction in her son's suffering, but the changes are so significant that to her he feels like a stranger. After a heartbreaking shift, Terry Irwin begs with her son. Terry Irwin made a heartfelt private appeal to her son, asking him to think about how much graphic imagery would overshadow the family's heritage and conservation efforts. Despite her continued pride in Robert's accomplishment as co-host of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, sources say Terry voiced concern, warning that venturing into the modeling and celebrity world may potentially overshadow Steve Irwin's message, as well as his increasing independence. A romance with Charlotte Briggs was rumored to have added complexity, and Terry was said to have advised tact and patience before disclosing private information in public. Terry, who's traveling uncharted emotional territory, is torn between pride and dread. She begs her son to strike a balance between respecting the legacy he's honoring and expressing himself. "This isn't who he was," says Terry Irwin. Terry Irwin, in a May 2025 interview, confronted the shocking transformation of her son Robert, who was once a quiet wildlife enthusiast, but is now a global media figure, saying bluntly, "This isn't who he was." She talked about the surprise of witnessing him star in provocative Bond's underwear campaign and enjoying the celebrity attention following his recent Las Vegas gala appearance and announcement as a contestant on Dancing with the Stars. Terry expressed delight in his accomplishments, such as hosting I'm a Celebrity and advocating for conservation. Still, she also confessed to feeling disoriented and finding it challenging to balance the playful youngster she had nurtured with an image centered on entertainment and sex appeal. She's emotionally conflicted and fears that Robert's departure from their primary goal may eclipse Steve Irwin's legacy by exposing a mother struggling with her public persona, pride, and personal heartache. Robert's terrible choices have left Terry Irwin in disbelief. When Robert's recent decisions diverged significantly from the conservation course their family supported in early 2025, Terry Irwin was devastated. Terry expressed extreme shock and disgust upon learning about Robert's role in a contentious nightclub event in Las Vegas. She feared that these choices would permanently harm Robert's reputation and Irwin's legacy. Terry quietly lamented the son who earlier valued wildlife over nightlife, even in the face of Robert's public success on Dancing with the Stars and his expanding modeling career. According to sources, she is urging Robert to return to the family's mission before their shared goals of conservation and education are overshadowed by celebrity and reckless decisions. Broken family, Terry Irwin's quiet sob. Terry Irwin disclosed in private, in the middle of 2025, the emotional toll of seeing her family fall apart in front of the world, referring to it as a silent cry as she tries to preserve the legacy. Robert's sister, Bindi, and their mother are upset at his rapid ascent to prominence through modeling, TV appearances, and high-profile romances. Their mother is concerned that the family's primary goal of protecting wildlife is being neglected. Due to the stress of juggling the demands of her family and the public, Terry frequently withdraws into her world. According to her close friends, according to insiders, Terry is caught between pride in her children's development and the heartache of witnessing the family's foundation steadily crumble under the spotlight of celebrity culture, despite her best efforts to present a united front. As her son fades away, Terry Irwin observes. According to Terry Irwin, who wrote in 2025 that she was deeply saddened by Robert's growing disengagement from the family's conservation heritage, she saw her son fade away. Robert's journey from wildlife advocate to television star and celebrity model has brought him both fame and personal struggles. According to close sources, Terry is devastated by Robert's departure from the Australia Zoo's mission and fears that criticism of his private life and contentious photo shoots will diminish his father Steve's lasting legacy. Terry, who's always been there for Robert, finds it difficult to relate to the young man he's grown into in private and frequently remembers his more sedate, outdoorsy upbringing. A mother's dread of losing not only a son, but also the shared goal of protecting wildlife for future generations is reflected in her worry. Terry Irwin's heartfelt letter to a lost son. In an emotional statement issued at the beginning of 2025, Terry Irwin expressed the profound anguish she felt as she saw her son Robert stray from the family's conservation objective. She freely expressed how she feels as though the boy, who used to share her love of wildlife, is leaving her for a young man who's more interested in fashion and celebrity. Despite her steadfast love, Terry's statement expressed deep sorrow and a wish that Robert would return to their shared principles. She frequently contacts him personally, according to insiders, to encourage him to reconnect with their heritage at Australia Zoo. In the face of difficult family transitions, this heartfelt appeal highlights a mother's unwavering hope and the challenges of striking a balance between one's personal identity and public accomplishments. Terry Irwin in sobs as Robert's lifestyle raises questions. After learning more about Robert's increasingly prominent lifestyle choices, which have caused considerable concern among family and fans, Terry Irwin reportedly became emotional in the middle of 2025. His transition from ardent animal conservationist to model and media figure, complete with controversial ads and late-night excursions, has sparked concerns about how it may affect the Irwin family's legacy. In private, Terry, who presents a calm public persona, finds it difficult to reconcile the daring son she reared with the famous person who makes headlines. Terry is worried that Robert's quick changes in lifestyle could harm his reputation and divert attention from their joint goal at Australia Zoo, according to friends close to Terry. Despite this, she maintains her optimism and continues to encourage her son to be loyal to his heritage. Emotional Terry Irwin is no longer able to save him. Terry Irwin has been expressing deep sadness by 2025 as she confronts the heartbreaking fact that her son Robert is blazing a trail that she can no longer control. Once firmly anchored in the family's conservation heritage, Robert has recently turned away from the principles Terry assumed he would defend by embracing modeling, controversial picture shoots, and high-profile entertainment gigs. According to family sources, Terry Irwin feels helpless to nudge him back toward the cause Steve Irwin fervently supported, even after innumerable private discussions and heartfelt pleas. She accepts that Robert's independence might mean their shared vision is lost, yet she remains heartbroken and supportive. The intricacy of striking a balance between parental love and public acceptance of a child's autonomy is made clear by this emotional conflict. Terry Irwin's pivotal moment. I can no longer watch this. When her son Robert's public image continues to stray from their family's heritage of wildlife protection, Terry Irwin finally lost it in 2025 and confided in private that she can't watch this anymore, according to family friends. Terry is extremely upset about Robert's daring modeling campaigns and increasing visibility in the world of celebrity nightlife, which she believes could damage the Irwin family's reputation. Terry, who is often strong and calm, finds it difficult to reconcile the kids she nurtured with the public figure who makes headlines. She is urging Robert to keep in mind the family objective and Steve Irwin's principles, according to insiders, in hopes of guiding him back before public opinion deviates too much from their common goals of protecting animals and educating people. Unexpected death of Terry Irwin's son startling. When Terry Irwin's son Robert suddenly transitioned from being a conservationist to a famous model and influencer in 2025, she was devastated. According to insiders, Terry was taken aback by Robert's decision to prioritize fame and fashion over all else, including his contentious photo shoots and late-night appearances without any prior notice or family discussion. Despite Robert's continued support of animal causes, Terry feels as though she's lost the son she knew and finds it difficult to relate to his new public character. According to close insiders, Terry is devastated by their increasing separation and worries that Steve Irwin's strong morals may be undermined by his quick rise to fame. She also worries that the family's legacy may be in jeopardy amid the celebrity culture vortex. Terry Irwin's quiet battle against Robert's collapse. In 2025, Terry Irwin fights a silent, agonizing battle as she observes her son Robert's rapid ascent to fame, which some insiders view as a personal breakdown. Previously closely linked to the family's conservation efforts, Robert's love of modeling, controversial campaigns, and party life has caused Terry and Robert to become increasingly estranged. Despite her public support, she struggles privately with feelings of powerlessness, worried that her son is losing touch with his genuine self and is laboring under the weight of fame. The invisible toll of fame on family ties is highlighted by friends close to the family who witnessed Terry's silent grief as she attempts to shield Robert from public scrutiny while lamenting the breakdown of the ideals Steve Irwin instilled. Terry Irwin says Steve will be heartbroken. In 2025, Terry Irwin spoke candidly about the hurt she believes Steve Irwin would have felt when he saw Robert's transition from ardent environmentalist to a superstar who prioritized fame and fashion. She said she was worried that Robert's recent decisions, modeling campaigns, media appearances, and an increasing emphasis on his brand might eclipse the legacy Steve spent his life creating for conservation. Despite Robert's tremendous talent, Terry emphasized that she hopes he never forgets the significance of their family's goal to save wildlife and inspire environmental action worldwide. A mother's desire for her son to preserve Steve's memory is reflected in her poignant statement, which highlights the need to strike a balance between public success and commitment to the causes that shaped their family's mission. It's clear from Terry Irwin's tears that the family is disintegrating. As tension and heartache arose from Robert's changing lifestyle in 2025, Terry Irwin's seldom public outburst of emotion exposed the severe divisions within the Irwin family. Terry broke down in tears, according to family friends, following a private argument with Robert about his preference for celebrities over conservation, which sparked concerns that the family's legacy was in jeopardy. Due to conflicting priorities and public scrutiny, the once close-knit group that fought for wildlife preservation is now struggling. Terry is still devoted to her kids, but she accepts the unpleasant fact that their lives have taken different turns. Her emotional reaction reveals the pressure of juggling personal struggles with public expectations, highlighting the vulnerability behind the family's well-known fortitude in the face of a rapidly changing world. Terry Irwin observes her son vanish. In 2025, Terry Irwin described the agonizing experience of watching her son Robert progressively stray from the family's legacy of conservation. Terry used to be quite interested in wildlife advocacy at the Australia Zoo. Still, Robert's recent turn to modeling, reality TV, and celebrity nightlife has made her feel increasingly distant from the young man she raised. She fears that despite her unwavering encouragement and support, Robert has lost sight of the principles Steve Irwin taught him due to the demands of public life and celebrity. In the hope that her son will soon re-engage with their shared goal, Terry's anguish is revealed by close friends as she attempts to heal the growing emotional distance between them. The difficulties families encounter when heritage and personal ambition clash are brought to light by her quiet grief. The anguish Terry Irwin struggled to keep out of the world. As the gap between her and her son Robert grew in 2025, Terry Irwin quietly suffered a great deal on a personal level. Close sources disclose that Terry has been struggling with emotions of powerlessness and sadness as Robert's life shifted towards celebrity culture and away from their family's wildlife conservation objectives. However, she publicly displays her typical fortitude and grace. Watching her son embrace a prominent modeling career in nightlife, which stands in stark contrast to Steve Irwin's legacy, has taken a toll on her emotions. The delicate balance of motherhood, legacy, and public expectations in 2025 is reflected in Terry's silent suffering, despite her attempts to keep the family out of the spotlight. Asking her son to return to his former self, Terry Irwin. Terry Irwin pleaded passionately in 2025 for her son Robert to return to his original ideals and passions. Robert is well known for his commitment to protecting species at the Australia Zoo, so Terry is somewhat alarmed by his recent foray into the entertainment industry, which has included modeling deals and a social media celebrity status. Fearing that his rapid lifestyle changes could overshadow Steve Irwin's legacy, she has privately pleaded with him to reconnect with the family's original objective. Terry's friends perceive her passionate calls and messages as a final effort to remind Robert of the importance of animal protection and their shared commitment to it. This SOS emphasizes a mother's desperate wish amidst a son's increasing estrangement from his heritage. The moment Terry Irwin realized she had lost him. In 2025, Terry Irwin had a devastating event that she recalls as the day she realized she had lost her son Robert to a world separated from their conservation heritage. According to close insiders, Robert's decision to distance himself from Australia Zoo and Steve Irwin's legacy in favor of a lifestyle centered on high-profile modeling jobs, nightlife, and social media exposure led to this revelation. Even though Terry loved her son unconditionally and tried to reconnect, she felt powerless to stop her son from prioritizing his celebrity over their shared love of protecting animals. Terry's emotional struggles between public appearances and private mourning are highlighted by this moving turning point, which also emphasizes the significant influence that individual decisions have on familial ties. Terry Irwin fears that her son's absence will last forever. As her son Robert's life becomes more focused on modeling and popularity than animal conservation, Terry Irwin told close friends in 2025 that she thinks she's losing him forever. Robert was once well known for his love of Australia Zoo and his commitment to upholding his father, Steve Irwin's, legacy, but his current emphasis on fashion initiatives and high-profile media appearances has made Terry feel emotionally distant. She's concerned that the child she raised is drifting away from the family's mission and beliefs, even though she continues to encourage and support him. Terry struggles to keep their relationship strong in the face of shifting goals and a rapidly changing public image, which is exacerbated by the pressures of celebrity and public scrutiny. The emotional collapse of Terry Irwin, from pride to pain. As Robert's attention changed toward modeling and celebrity in 2025, Terry Irwin, who had previously been ecstatic with her son's early conservation efforts, experienced an emotional breakdown. When Robert adopted a high-profile lifestyle that contrasted strongly with the family's legacy of wildlife, including provocative picture shoots and television appearances, Terry's joy turned to fear, according to those close to the family. Even though she's always been there for her son, she has been emotionally impacted by watching him turn away from the principles that Steve Irwin taught him. Terry's struggle highlights the delicate balance between profound disappointment and familial pride, underscoring the profound impact that public life and personal choices have on even the most enduring relationships. Sad, Terry Irwin's son can't identify her. Terry Irwin was devastated to learn in 2025 that her son Robert, who had previously appeared to have a strong bond with his mother and a passion for conservation principles, no longer seemed to recognize her. According to close insiders, Robert's quick assimilation into a famous lifestyle, characterized by modeling and media attention, has caused them to become emotionally distant from one another. Robert's obsession with celebrity and personal branding has resulted in times when he seems disengaged from the common family goal, even though Terry continues to work to keep their relationship strong via love and support. The emotional toll of public scrutiny and shifting priorities is highlighted by this sad change, which leaves Terry mourning not only a changing relationship, but also the passing of the kid she once knew so well. It's all in the expression on Terry Irwin's face. A rare, unguarded photo taken in 2025 showed Terry Irwin's face displaying a mixture of grief, anxiety, and tiredness as she deals with the significant changes in her son Robert's life. Robert's recent move towards celebrity modeling and high-profile media appearances has strained his connection with Steve Irwin, who was formerly renowned for his dedication to wildlife conservation and for continuing his legacy. According to those close to the family, Terry's look captures the unsaid suffering of seeing a loved one stray from their core principles. The emotional burden she bears amid these personal challenges is highlighted by the expression on her face, which, despite her apparent calmness, conveys a mother's intense anxiety that the demands of fame are changing Robert into someone she hardly recognizes. When Robert Irwin changed, his mother began to cry. Terry Irwin reportedly broke down in tears in 2025 when she saw how drastically her son Robert had changed. Robert's current focus on celebrity modeling and media attention has caused him to become less involved in the conservation work that characterized his formative years. Terry's upset about Robert's adoption of a high-profile lifestyle because he was once a fervent animal champion who followed in Steve Irwin's footsteps. Terry worries that the legacy her late husband left behind may be eroding. Despite her public backing, close insiders disclose the hidden times of grief as Terry sees Robert shift his focus from environmental action to celebrity. The pain of a mother trying to balance her love for her son with dissatisfaction with the course he has chosen is reflected in her tears. Terry Irwin's family crisis that she hoped would never occur. As her son Robert's increasing disengagement from the family's wildlife conservation work became evident in 2025, Terry Irwin faced a family crisis she had long feared. According to those close to the Irwin family, the once close-knit household has become increasingly tense as a result of Robert's growing involvement in the fashion and entertainment industries. Although she's been supportive, Terry, who is well known for her dedication to Steve Irwin's legacy, has privately found it challenging to accept the changes. The situation extends beyond personal dissatisfaction as it jeopardizes the family's conservation efforts and reputation in the future. Terry's optimism for reconciliation in the face of emotional hardship highlights the delicate balance between preserving the Irwin family's illustrious past and fostering familial love. What a single phone call did to Terry Irwin's life. In 2025, a single phone call significantly changed Terry Irwin's world, revealing Robert's departure from their family's conservation-focused path. The call, which insiders said was devastating, verified that Robert was abandoning the animal activism he had formerly supported in favor of a lifestyle driven by celebrity, modeling, and social media influence. Terry, who has dedicated her life to preserving Steve Irwin's legacy, has found this news to be a profound awakening. This news initiated a tumultuous emotional journey marked by worry, attempts to reconnect, and a reevaluation of their relationship. This phone conversation underscored the challenge of striking a balance between personal choices and familial loyalty in a rapidly evolving society. He was so vibrant, Terry Irwin breaks down. As she recalled the lively personality her son Robert once possessed, Terry Irwin broke down in tears in 2025. Robert's development into a popular figure has been a difficult transition for his mother. Robert is well known for his contagious passion for wildlife and his sincere connection to nature. Friends close to Terry say she frequently remembers the time when Robert's love of adventure and conservation was similar to that of his late father, Steve Irwin. She's experienced severe mental distress as she's watched him turn his attention to modeling and public appearances. The intense sadness experienced when a loved one's cheerful nature seems to wane under the strain of celebrity and shifting priorities is highlighted by Terry's breakdown. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon. Terry Irwin's journey is a reminder that even in the spotlight, pain is personal. Stay tuned for more true stories from the heart of Hollywood and beyond.